Is that a fair assessment? I mean, like your comedy partner, who you must know...
I didn't hear a word you said.
No, didn't you?
No.
Well, Stephen Fry, who you work with from time to time.
Fry, tall, yes.
Yes, tall, talented, funny.
Yeah, we got the other one now.
Yeah. Well, you're tall as well. And now he's a regular visitor to chat shows and speeches, and I think you sort of keep your light...
My powder dry.
Your powder dry, yeah.
Yeah.
Is your powder dry tonight?
Very dry.
Are you going to dampen it for me?
I might moisten it.
Yes.
Well, yeah, well, he enjoys them.
Yes. And you?
And I... Well, so far, it's going awfully well.
Yeah. Now, the immediate reason for you being on here is that you've got a film out, 101 Dalmatians.
Well, I haven't got a... I'm in it. It's not my film. Yeah, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shall we take a look at it?
Right. Now, let me tell you a bit about this bloke, Skinner, before we meet him. Now, supposedly, when he was quite young, this dog tore open his throat and ripped out his vocal cords, leaving him brutally scarred and completely mute. He cannot talk at all. Now, look at me. Pay attention. This is very important. There are two things you must not do with Skinner, right? One, do not look at the horrendous scar on his neck. Two, don't talk to him. Understand? Not a word. Right.
Oh! Look at the size of that scar! No blinking wonder you can't talk, mate.
Excuse me just a minute, would you?
No, but it's a good role to play, and you formed quite a good sort of duo with him. Do you think you might do sort of shows with him if Stephen isn't available?
If he doesn't come up to scratch. Yeah, because, well, Mark is a very funny, very enjoyable bloke to work with, actually. Yeah. And he turns up.
Yes. But all the human performances are brilliant. Do you like dogs? Did you get on well with them all right?
Yeah. I hung out with the stunt dogs most of the time.
But how many actual real dogs there? Were there 101 dogs? I tried to count them just to check.
I think we went through
one dog, a lot of mirrors?
About 600, actually.
600?
Well, they were supposed to be 2 weeks old, and the film took 5 months to shoot.
Oh, isn't that so Hollywood, isn't it?
Yeah.
They always want the younger performers, don't they? Kid, you're too old at 3 weeks.
I know, that's right. So they were off smoking cigarettes and behind the bike shed as their voices broke, and you know, they were...
So what's happened to them now? Have they all gone on to perform
drugs, mostly.
Very good. But now, does this represent a further step in your ever-improving acting career? Because you're in more and more things. Do you enjoy, you know, straight acting? It's not particularly straight.
That's not very straight. No, it's quite sort of bent, really.
Yeah. As you played it.
Yes. Well, yes, I hope so. But, you know, the thing about acting is that you've got to wait to be asked.
Unless I've missed, because I've tried to find some sort of bad notices about all my guests, but as far as I can see, you've always been in things that they've said, oh, Hugh Laurie was particularly good. And Peter's Friends, there were some mixed reviews, but everybody said, oh, no, Hugh Laurie was a good one, which I would agree. And Sense and Sensibility, you had a small part there, but everybody said, oh, yes, the screen lit up when Hugh came on. Oh. So now you've done although it was filmed over here, it's kind of a Hollywood film. Do you think you're going to be whooshed off to be doing a sort of romantic lead in
Going to be whooshed?
Whooshed off, yeah. What's my impression of an aeroplane?
Was it? Right. Very good. Yeah. Well, I just don't know.
Now, the other thing you've done recently, a few months ago, I suppose, well, must be now, you had a book out, a novel out.
Yeah.
And was that inspired by Stephen turning out novels regularly? Do you want to keep up with him, or what?
No. God, oh, no. I mean, if anything, the reverse. I think I probably would have written a novel much earlier if it hadn't been for him. I mean, I just so dreaded...
You're stopping you, saying, no, that's what I do, stop it, Hugh.
In a sense, he was, yeah, because I just dreaded the comparison, the possibility of comparison, because, you know, he uses very long words.
Yes.
And he knows a lot of them.
Yes.
And...
he does use them once he knows them.
He does, by golly, he does.
But in The Gunseller, your novel, you use lots of words.
No, well, short ones, though.
Yes.
But, and if.
Yeah.
That's about it, actually.
So what happened? You wait until he made his disappearing act to Bruges.
I waited until the dust had settled.
I'll write a novel.
Yeah, exactly. I'll build a whole empire, a whole comedy empire when he's gone.
The story I've heard, which I'm sure is true, is you didn't send it in under the name Hugh Laurie. You sent it under some pseudonym just to see if they wanted to publish it on its own merits.
That's
rather
right.
Than just a
Gary
celebrity
Lineker was the name.
Yes. Not much football in here.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there has been quite a spate
Yes.
of, it's such a ghastly phrase, celebrity novels. And, you know, publishers are pretty desperate people. They will publish anything by anyone who's ever been on television.
But did they guess who it was? Because the sort of style of it does sound a bit sort of Hugh Laurie-ish in the joke.
Oh, well, you say that when you know.
Yeah,
but
I'm asking you did they guess?
I defy anybody to... Do you think that's possible, to read a novel and go, this must be, you know, Anthony Aardvark, who I want to... I mean, it would be an incredible
But did they
feat.
say, yes, we're happy to publish this novel by Mrs. Tabitha Twitchett, I wonder who she is, or had they by then discovered, oh,
Well,
right,
yes,
that's doubly good.
No, they did. They did agree to proceed
Yes.
under the name of James Callum. That was my, which are actually my middle names, and I thought that was rather a good thriller writer's name.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm rather sorry to lose it.
Yeah. So
I just lost it by telling you.
Yes.
You see, so it's all blown.
Yeah. And what about Fry and Laurie? Are we going to see any more of your sketch shows together?
Well, I don't know, to be honest. I watched Stephen on this show because I was keen to find out. I now think that there is just too much comedy about.
Really?
Yeah. Far too much comedy about. I think there's going to be a big slump. I think the bottom will drop out of the comedy market, and we'll all be stuck in a negative comedy trap. There's just too much. You can't, you can't turn on with that scene.
Are you happy with audiences?
Nice ones.
Yeah. I mean, have you just sort of done, you know, live performance?
They are sitting here.
No, I know.
What are you trying to say?
No, but not every audience is the same. But
You hate them.
okay, so
Well,
let's see if
was that what you are?
see if there's anybody here that got a question from the audience. Anybody got a question for Hugh Laurie? Yes, sir.
You've played many roles, but which did you enjoy the most and why?
I loved doing Bertie Wooster. I must say that was very good fun. You know, I was really sort of whistled on my way to work doing that, and also actually Blackadder was very good fun as well. I mean, they sort of in a way similar. I mean, the character I played in Blackadder was sort of Bertie Woosterish in a way. Thanks very much for that snide little chuckle.
Well, you do kind of
they were
specialise.
themed performances.
Yes, themed,
Clive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of well-spoken idiots, really. Now, is that something you find hard to do, or is that or not? I don't know.
Yes, the man in the green shirt.
Is there a man in a green shirt? That would,
no man in a green shirt.
That would cut so well together. Somebody with a green shirt. Would just... Gentleman over there, that dark suit. Yes, what's your question?
Do you feel there's a pressure on comedians to be funny the whole time, just in general life?
Do you meet people?
No. No. Well, no more pressure on comedians to be funny than on mechanics to fix your car. I mean, it depends on the job. If you happen to be, let's say, a quantity surveyor, I don't suppose...
Well, you're a quantity surveyor?
No one's going to come up and say, could you survey this quantity for me at a party? But I suppose comedians are vaguely open to it.
Comedians tend to divide into two categories, don't
I'm
they?
going to say 7.
7, right.
But
I'll do the
two.
first two, which
Two
are the
are going to be
easier.
crude about it, yeah.
There's a type who just keeps joking the whole time, never stops talking, keeps interrupting, saying witty things the whole time, whether people want to hear it or not.
Yeah.
There must be some of those around. Then there's the sort of the agonised ones who only perform on screen or on stage, and afterwards will sort of would be brusque with somebody asking questions. Of course, I'm not funny. Often. No, which are you of those two categories?
Well, you see, I was of the 6th category,
Yes.
which you used to, we simply haven't got time to get to.
Well, it was nice of you to explain that to us. Thank you very much, Hugh Laurie. Okay. Right. And we do some photo news now, and a statue of Oliver Reed was